this off? Can I kick this off right at the beginning and say I didn't hate it?
Oh, fuck off!
Well, I think a lot of it might have been expectation.
That's
because
the first.
I thought I was going to.
That's the first opinion that is going to be posited on this eternal podcast. Is I didn't think it was that bad.
I think that's a good place to build from.
I said I didn't hate it. It was a bad movie.
6 movies, Kevin James and everyone.
This is my overwhelming complaint about Paul Blart Mall Cop 2.
Yeah. Why are you into the overview?
I'll get there. Okay. And right now, let me tell the audience something that I kept forgetting in the movie. There's a heist going on around all of this. Like, they would just cut to it for 30 seconds at a time, and I'd be like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, a heist.
Let me just hop in here and say that Travis is being very liberal with his use of the word heist. Because if I go into Travis's house and he has a nice thing on a table, and then I just pick that thing up off the table, that's just theft. I don't think that counts as a heist. In order for there to be a heist, there has to be gymnastics and there have to be people with specialized skills.
And I laughed. And I want to be clear here, just so like my opinion is not completely blown apart. Every time I laughed, it was very scientific. I was taking notes, and I would go, all right, you got me. And it was like the laugh had to like come from somewhere subconscious. I couldn't laugh on purpose.
But that's because it sounds like you have a baby brain, where every time you see a moving thing move very quickly. You enjoy that.
Griffin, I would counter-argue that I only laughed 11 times in this comedy movie. I don't think that is statistically very good.
And really,
this is where laugh number 5 came in for me.
Oh God! You're not actually going to do this 11 times, are you?
He's hypoglycemic, and so as he's talking with Neil McDonough, he passes out, falls asleep, and in order to regain his strength, like Superman in the yellow sun,
I can't believe
he has to slide underneath. And that was laugh number 6 for me.
Oh my God!
And then, like, bounces out of a window, has my 7th laugh, where he bursts out of the water and says, "Not today, Death." And I laughed pretty hard at that.
That was okay, Travis. That wasn't a joke. That was Paul Blart literally pleading to God. That was not a triumphant.
There was a question mark at the end.
It was an expectant. Still, this didn't do me.
You know,
I'm going to run through my laughs real quick.
Right. Oh, God. Okay.
God, no. Tim was about to close. Tim was about to put a nice bow on it.
Can you save him for... Wait, Trav, can you just save him for a year?
No, I'll forget them. So he comes off of Cirque. He stands in front of a giant fan and screams. That was number 8.
Jesus, that sucked.
There's a whole running thing where Mini Kiss is performing at the hotel.
No.
And there's a great like 10-second scene.
Can I guess what your laugh? Can I guess what your laugh is? Is your laugh when he says, "Do you guys play Beth?" And they say, "No, we don't play Beth," very sheepishly. And then one of them says, "I told you we should play Beth." And the other one says, "Not now, Frank."
Yeah, that was a pretty good moment.
Bad joke. Boo.
Number 10, the 3rd taser out of 6.
No, there were not 6. There were 75 fucking tasers in that scene. You're a dunce.
But the 3rd time he does it, I laugh.
You make enough of a living off our comedy podcast that I could safely call you a comedy professional. And you're talking about these things.
And then the 11th, the final one, is when he references the good security guy at the hotel and says, "You should be with him." Oh, he's full on crying. And it cuts back and he's just bawling.
Oh my God.
I laughed pretty hard at that.
You're an interesting guy, Travis.
Make up a company, make up a product, and sell the shit out of it to give them a little.
Do we have to make it up?
No, I mean, it could be a real thing that you could just.
Then let me segue into this.
Oh fuck!
But part of it was I just had a baby daughter, and this was her first movie.
That was excellent.
I held her up so that she could see it, and I just kept whispering in her ear, "This is your favorite movie." And I'm going to do that routinely. as her consciousness is buddingly developing, that I could constantly just implant within her head that Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is her favorite movie. Yes?
I'm going to give you a mulligan on this one because you're a new parent and maybe you don't know all of the rules. But I think literally brainwashing your child to worship Paul Blart Mall Cop 2 is not officially good parenting. I would say it almost goes the other way.
There's a little person there that I'm gonna, raise up and try to, build a person that can build a brighter future for themselves and for future generations, because ours really fucked it up. And Travis has taken sort of a different approach, where he's like, let's just see what we can do. Let's see what we can do with this.
I want you guys to know, and this wasn't forced. Last year, I had 11 laughs that I cataloged. This year, 13.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Travis.
Last time.
Okay. All right.
That is fucking unforgivable, man.
Now,
I was pissed off listening to the episode this morning where, in fact, I think Griff was the only one who got out of the squeaky clean. But
yeah,
the other two of you brothers were like, "Hey, movie not so bad," and then Travis was like, "I laughed 11 times. Here's all the moments." So, fuck you guys hard. I just watched that movie again. It's no good. This movie is also up because they kill his wife right at the start. It doesn't make the two movies similar.
Well, also Up and Die Hard are very similar if you think about it.
Yeah. The irritating thing about your comparison, though, Travis, is that what that implies is that it's like a parody of Die Hard.
He's a terrible dad. I thought that throughout. I just kept thinking oh, he's a terrible dad and probably was a terrible husband.
Did you nudge your infant child and point that out to it as you sort through these things?
I just kept saying, I will never be like this. I told you, it flashes forward. It's back and forth between the two time periods.
You got to think about this stuff. You got to think about it.
You can't just say
I never claimed to have brought you a finished product. I brought you the ingredients, and I expected us as a conglomerate single unit to create the product from the ingredients I was bringing.
One episode a year. You can't post up a rock.
I'm very strongly starting to consider watching Paul Blart Mall Cop 1 as well before next year. Well, I feel like it could provide some depth to this conversation. In which 5 goobers had decided to watch the same amazing movie.
Hey, fuck you, pal. I'm no goober.
What's left to say?
Well, there is this left to say. It's about our other sponsor.
I will also stand by Not Today Death and him coming out of the water. That's a solid moment that I will always enjoy. It means turning left.
I think
no, it doesn't.
Or counterclockwise.
That's Wittershins, which is
Well, so we made a graphic novel out of the first Adventure Zone Balance chapter, and we got a second one.
Who the fuck is listening to this that doesn't know that already?
Do not.
I disagree. I think it's fun.
Don't watch.
It's a fun time.
Yeah, watch it. It's a fun flick.
Good flick, good friends, good fun. And as we say every year, not today, Death.